Oh, that one's missing too. Somebody must have took them all. I gotta remember to go see what I got. But you don't put that much in. Everybody over here?
Yeah.
All right, good evening. Sorry for the delay. We had a couple of different meetings that we started at 6 o'clock. They ran over a little bit. All right, welcome to the town board meeting, February 4th, 2025.
Wait,
It's already
storage.
February. So please rise and we'll salute the flag.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Morton.
Here.
Councilwoman McMahon. Here. Councilman Hanlon.
Here.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Yeah. All right, the first on the agenda tonight, gentleman called Mike Grasso. Mike, you want to come up and sit at these tables here? We did that already. Yeah.
It's your pointer. It's your point.
Came in the other one, so we got it. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
It's on?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Mike's here, maybe to help us out a little bit. We've been trying for years to get some senior housing on our property here in the back, a lot of years, and haven't been real successful. I happened to run into Mike at a meeting last week and we were just talking. I won't say we were in the bar talking, but we were talking and, I don't know how it came up and I said, dude, I'm looking for somebody to build senior housing. And he says, all right, what time you want me at your meeting? So that's as far as we got. We didn't ask him any questions about it. So I invited him here. So Mike, this is Mike Grasso on the end and you can introduce the other two. I don't know who they are.
So this is Eric Carlson. He owns Boston Morning Co. Construction Company, and they specialize in building apartments. He's built how many apartments?
About 10,000.
Oh, few.
A few. And this is my son, Mike Jr. He runs.
My condolences in your phone.
We recently built 40 apartments in Lake George. An IDA pilot helped us because of the need for housing in Lake George. And Eric was the general contractor. There are 2-bedroom, 1-baths. There's 40 of them, and they were rented within 3 months once the season came. You can ask him, turns his phone off because when we have people fight over vacancies. So that's a very nice thing. They rent for about $1,450 and you pay your own electric.
You own them?
Pardon me?
Do you own them?
Yes, we own them. Yes. So when I was talking to Gene, he's like, geez, we have land here. We might be able to work out some kind of deal for the land very, very economically for you.
Don't use the word cheap.
I didn't say cheap. And we were interested, we've always been interested in some forms of senior housing. We have a number of seniors living in our facility, and quite frankly, they're great. They don't have kids running up and down the halls. They're very responsible about how they take care of their units, and it works out well. I understand you have quite a bit of land out back. One of the big problems that we have is cost. 5, 6, 7 years ago, cost was not a major factor if you could buy the land for the right price. Now cost is it's unbelievable. I mean, what do we figure a unit? 160,000 a unit?
Correct.
$160,000 to build one unit.
How big? Roughly.
Average 1,100.
So the ones you did Lake George are about 1,100.
Yeah.
2 bedrooms.
2-bedroom, 1-bath, nice kitchen. And there's some amenities. They're all stainless appliances. There's a washer and dryer. So that particular place overlooks Lake George and overlooks the woods. So it's really from an aesthetic viewpoint, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful project. Gene, you had said to me, I got 20 seniors I know who wanted a place. We don't think you'd have problems renting. The problems we would incur back here is, number one, the cost. So seniors here, we would anticipate they couldn't afford much more than maybe 1,100, maybe 1,200 a month. That sort of puts constraints on what kind of building you can build, and Jim was in construction for years. He gets it. The costs of copper and even the PVC pipe, I mean, the insulation, the things that you didn't blink at before, now you look at, and you have to pay attention. So the units, I would guesstimate, because you have your infrastructure, you have no sewer, correct?
No, you have to have a septic, yeah.
Okay. And what is the soils like out back?
I would have to say, too bad my roads, building the ground guys, that's correct. Basically, if it's like a lot of it here, it's mostly soil with a little rock in it, the rocks, small rocks.
Is it sandy or is it clay?
Mostly
Glacial,
sandy.
glacial till
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah, Sandy.
So
Yeah.
it lends itself to a large septic system.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's huge. That's
Actually,
one.
Towns here, who have really no, most of the people that have septics, and most of them really is pretty good. Except downtown in the village, down Rock Ledge, and there is some problems there back here. I don't think there is.
What kind of water line do you have coming in here?
I think it's a 4-inch is Ron here.
Ron's not here, but I know like up in the heights, it's 6 inches. So,
I'm talking about the one that's right out here.
oh,
I think this is a 4-inch. But I can get you an answer for tomorrow.
You want me to see if I can
Down
get
to a
him?
mile water tower. There's a main out here.
It
Never far from the
comes
top.
all the way down to the back of the property,
Where's the main?
Right out here on the street.
right on.
Right here on the street.
But it's only about 2 blocks from our water tower. So it
Okay.
gets good pressure.
Okay.
So the main could be bigger than the 4-inch line.
Main is probably a 5 to 6 inch.
I think,
This was a 4-inch to feed the fire sprinklers. That's why I'm saying it. I'm pretty sure it's 4.
That's our major concern, because these have to be sprinklered per New York State code.
And it was 4 inches when we put this one in, so.
So
Yeah, it runs along the whole length of the parking lot. And the end of the building, so not very far to extend it.
It goes all the way up to the state campground.
okay. How much land is actually back there?
I would say probably a good 20 acres. It was 25 acres when we got this thing, and I think this building and parking lot takes up about 5 acres.
Okay.
So, and it backs, a lot of that acreage backs up against the school property back there. So it's a pretty quiet area back there.
Would the town be favorable to a pilot program?
If it's a win-win, sure.
Well, the idea with a pilot is it helps in 2 areas. It makes the sales tax 0 during construction.
Yeah.
Okay, and the mortgage tax, it makes 0, but then the IDA usually charges a fee equal to the mortgage tax. What it does from a tax standpoint, usually depending on how you negotiate the taxes, it's usually a 5 to 7 year program. It can be as much, and depending on, it could be a 10,
Is it typically school and property?
school and county, correct?
County.
The IDA actually takes title to the parcel. And that's how you get the deferral. And then they rent it to us for like 10 years. And then at the end of 10 years, they give it to us back. So during that 10-year period, the IDA, Warren Washington IDA, would actually own the parcel. That's why there's no sales tax. That's why the taxes can be reduced, as opposed to somebody that you pay X, you don't get a reduction, but because the IDA owns the parcel, they're eligible for reduction. Normally it's 50% first year, 45, yeah, 45 second year, 40, 35, 30, until that goes away and you pay full taxes. So,
Our idea is pretty aggressive right now, is that a fair statement?
well, they did Fowler Square in Queensbury, they did our program.
There's a handful of others that I haven't seen after we did ours. I didn't know.
Yeah, so they're,
So you did it like George,
we did it in Lake George, yeah,
that town or village?
that's how. Yeah. And
So
so,
if we said that we'd like to really get into this with us, would you give us a full layout of how many you want to build and, but you're
why
gonna,
don't you show them that this is Eric, this is one of Eric's designs that they have done. And it basically, some of the, I apologize, some of the copiers, we had to do at a different location, they came out terrible.
Yeah, so they start to get.
Give Mary one too. Hi, Mary. So
Couple good ones.
why don't you explain what this shows?
how many units are we,
Let's tell
this
you.
is one building,
Eric,
So
walk it
that
through.
building right there is actually 2 floors of 8 units
8
and
units.
1 floor of 4 units, and it's a little oversized. We want to scale it down for this purpose here. That building was built, we built I think 10 of them in this unit. And so the rent's obviously a little bit higher, and it was market rate, so you know, our 1-bedroom apartments there are getting probably 16 or 1800, and the 2-bedroom apartments are getting 22. But it's a different world down there too. The cost of the construction and the approvals was quite a bit more. Having said that, that building can be modified to be 3 stories of 8 units, and it can be scaled down to hopefully meet the rental requirements here, what we need to meet for rental rates. But it's a good design because it has very little common area, and it has an elevator and stairs, so it meets fire code and with a central corridor. It doesn't have like the hotel hallways that you see very often in senior housing, where you walk down the hall and you walk in 200 feet
Like
to your
like a
room.
hotel.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is nice. You walk in the front door and you're 25 feet from all 8 doors on that first floor and the elevator. So it's a very compact, very nice design with an elevator. We theoretically could get 24 units in there, 8 units per floor, a mixture of 1 and 2 bedroom.
Okay, one question, I don't want to put you on the spot, Barbara. Do you still have that list of those people that wanted senior housing? Yeah, right, but it was about 25 to 30, right? Okay, that's because that's what I thought. We almost could fill this, a couple of these up right away. We have a lot of seniors in our town. They're having a tough time with life in general. They're getting old. Maybe the husband passed or the wife passed, and they would love to get senior housing right next door. I don't know, you've been in this building, right? Okay, so you know what's in there. We have a huge senior center down below. We have, we do lunches down there. We do a lot of shows. We do a lot for the seniors. We take them shopping. We have our own little bus that does this. So this would be ideal for some of the seniors, and why I'm really interested in it, because everybody's here in housing. Well, a lot of these senior citizens are living one in each house, and husband died or the wife died or something like that they'd be selling off their house and then pick up more houses for us to get into a younger generation to help our town grow and have kids in the school. So it'd be nice to get them out of there and put them over here. That's my interest.
Can I ask a few questions?
Sure, yeah, most definitely.
You said you did this in town of Lake George?
So not this exact design.
Okay,
No,
you had to work with APA first? I'm asking.
actually, APA was not a problem. The real problem there was DEC. There's all new people up in DEC, and they're new engineers, and quite frankly,
You know,
it's difficult. That was difficult.
I'm just, the reason I'm asking is this area is APA. So, something on this scale you would have to go through a site plan review, obviously. I'm zoning officer.
well, I meant to also tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
Karen, we did all that through Lake George.
Okay.
We worked with the town engineer. you know, because there we had sewer, also
I
besides
just,
water.
just a couple of concerns is all.
Sure.
You did, so you were able to get through APA in the end, not an issue. APA has a height limit of 40 feet. Our zoning ordinance has a height limit of 38 feet, lowest grade to highest peak. If you've got a 3-story building, I'm assuming it's going to be 24 at least, plus the roof area. So I'm assuming you can keep it under the 38 feet height without an issue.
I'm a little bit on the spot, but I'm gonna say generally, if we have 8-foot ceilings and a 1-foot floor, we're 918,
Yeah.
26 to the truss bottom.
Right,
That
okay,
gives us 9 feet, right?
okay. That was basically all. I just wanted,
Yeah.
APA you're gonna have to deal with, and the one thing that I could see would be a possible height issue with a 3-story building, but I know, having been in the building side of things before, 3-story, again, I felt that you could keep it at the 38 or under.
Karen,
That,
is
that
that,
building actually right there has you don't see it from the elevation, but, and you don't know it from the road. It looks like a peaked roof, but there's actually a 20-foot section of flat roof in the middle on the top. But there's no place from the ground where you can actually tell. It looks like a peaked roof from that picture.
From this
and
picture.
From the street.
Karen, does the fact that it's a 3-floor rental like this, does that change the fire protection for the town? They have to get a ladder truck or no?
I don't know about that. That's something we'd have to
Something
talk to the fire code people, at Warren County about. That comes into their
I know I'm
stuff,
getting
not
way
mine.
ahead of myself. But who would be responsible for things like marketing? And those kinds of things,
That's
to
cool.
make sure it's the right thing to build. I mean, you'd be hanging out to dry because it's your money.
So that's a question, for you guys, because looking over the comprehensive plan that you published, there was quite a few different points of, a housing study and all kinds of different things.
A lot of data.
Feasibility study and
And the county just redid theirs too.
the counties was very interesting. I watched and listened to the entire thing. I read through it a couple times, and there's an evident need for housing just about everywhere in the county, right? But more specifically here, I'm just wondering, since that was published, you guys have kind of found anything new, in your discoveries, any studies or?
Matter of fact, we had the first housing development on the planning board docket right now in the last 20 years.
Well, the second one really, but yes,
Well, the first one's real small.
yeah.
I can see a whole lot of logistical questions, but none of them are insurmountable. Walls, what, that kind of stuff,
Okay.
In front of us, and if I'm going to decide tonight, because I'd like to, we'll talk
Yeah,
about
these
it,
guys haven't heard about this.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the first time we've talked about it.
We just met Wednesday.
Start of anything.
We just met Wednesday, and today's Tuesday, so
Right.
they don't know about it, but we put it on the agenda, have you come in and make sure.
And this is really a fact-finding mission for us too. It's nice to know that it's sand back there. It's nice to know that there's a large water main that we can possibly tap off of. The other problem is the configuration of the lot. It's probably a long run of a driveway. So you've got, when you do a project like this from a financial standpoint, you have to look at all the other features that cost you money that don't generate money. That building generates money. Parking lots, septic systems, sewer and water hookups, driveways, landscaping, all that doesn't generate real income, but your site costs and landscaping can be $1 million. I mean, by the time, well, all these amenities, depending on where you're at, usually sites 100,000 for our project in Lake George. We built 5 buildings with 8 units in each building. And then we hit the remains of Fort William Henry. The hotel, when it burned,
That's important.
the hotel, when it burned, they brought all the debris over there and buried it. How deep were we at one point?
20.
Which I find it there.
Had to go 20 feet down to find firm footing, and we had to then build that back up. And so, we ran into, site costs of an additional $66,000. And we were lucky because one of the contractors that I'm very friendly with and I insure had another project and was able to bring the fill in and only trucking charges for us. So, I mean, those are some of the things that you run into. I have a couple other questions. Do you require archaeological studies? I mean, there's woods back there. They don't look like there's been disturbance.
That would be part of the seeker that you would do, just, you know,
I don't think there's been anything on that property in all these years.
Just
Yeah.
Homer Schofield's hayfields
Hmm.
from 1920s, 30s and 40s.
No buildings ever been on. it.
Nothing.
It's all farms, was a farm over here, this is all farm field, every bit of it.
That's actually good if it was farmed, if it was tilled. Sometimes depending on how far it was tilled, depending on what type of farming you did, that'll escape the, was that area, because that wasn't the original woods, trees.
It's all, this whole town was clear cut at one time, back in the 1800s. So you could see from the middle school all the way down to the town, you can see the tannery. So there wasn't a tree standing around here. But
Was that
everything you
rough?
see is secondary, third or third growth. None of it is primary growth.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yes.
What would the next fact finding maybe topic be? I know, I'm blunt as heck, all right?
To be honest with you, the cost of land. So, in Lake George, we paid X, which was a very great price. And every other project up there has just about failed because of the cost of land. And the cost of bringing infrastructure into that land. So, and then, of course, what the planning board requires for landscaping and, the various permitting that you go through, what kind of plans do you want? It's either easy to work with the town or it's difficult to work with the town. And a lot of times developers and will walk away because it's just, Richie Skimhorn just walked away from Waterslide. Okay, yeah, that's on the market now. So if the town works with you, you can get something done at a fair price. We actually ended up spending over 100,000 on engineering because of DEC. And I will never do a project that involves DEC again. They're just horrible.
I think one advantage we've got is we own the land.
That is a huge advantage. So the land cost obviously figures in the per unit cost. I mean, it just does.
I don't know how you're gonna get away from not working with DEC,
Well,
because you've got.
you don't have
to do that.
sewers, and their big hang up in Lake George was sewers. And they made it
But
so
you're
it's
gonna have you're gonna have some kind of a septic treatment,
that's
and
fine.
that's gonna be DEC
That's fine.
and DOH.
Correct.
How close to the lake was your development in Lake George?
Well, it wasn't the closest to the lake. The stream that goes behind the $1 Million Beach that feeds that wetlands and then goes under a little bridge into the lake. It adjoins our property. It runs right along the side of our property.
Probably why you got so much grief, because all the history of E. coli down the area over the years, remember all the years, it's all, you get an outbreak here and there, and.
It's a sewer system.
So,
We're hooked up to a sewer, so there's no.
That's DEC
possibility.
though, they're like so hyperly.
Well, DEC actually,
I'm
I'm not making fun of, I am excuse me, I am making fun of DEC.
It is what.
They didn't think there was enough water in the lake
Yeah,
to fund the project,
okay.
okay? We had to prove that there was enough water. They then looked at an old source study that didn't understand that the sewers had been slip lined along the Lake George $1 Million Beach because there was an infiltration of water problem there. And the sewers were overworked because of the water. And once they slip lined it, all of a sudden there was all this capacity.
There was numerous problems that we had worked through. There wasn't just one. There was numerous.
Yeah.
There's you're not gonna have them kind of problems here. Well, how about we got some information. I'd like the board to sit down. Maybe we'll come up with a price of the land or what amenities we can help with, and then sit back down with you and see how it works out.
I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions
Yes.
for you. I just want to make sure I got these numbers correct because I was just trying to write some stuff down as you guys were talking. Your average per unit cost is $160,000.
That's fair to say.
Okay. And that's right.
That's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath with nice appliances, washer and dryer, all stainless. So you don't have to be quite at that level.
And that's 1,100 square feet, right? Okay, and you were looking. And we're not gonna hold you to this, obviously, but you were saying that. Possible rent would be $1,150.
That's
Between
why
11
that
and
cost has got to come down. That 160's got to come down to meet that.
And that number.
Correct.
The cost is gonna determine your rent, and like with the project that he was speaking about in Lake George, we had penciled in rent being substantially cheaper than close to 1,500. And being that there was overages and all sorts of things happened, engineering costs, DEC and all these other things, and rents had to go up a couple $100.
That's how you ended up at the 14.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna be 13.
No, we thought we were gonna be lower than that. We thought we were gonna be closer to what the pencil this.
Okay, and what does that include? That's just rent, right? No, I mean, there's nothing else.
Yeah,
I just wanna,
there's,
No, so everything is included in that, except for electricity.
except for electricity.
Go for it, but water, sewer, that's electric.
Oh, electric heat.
Right, but
Gotcha.
water, sewer, trash, snow removal, landscaping, cleaning the common areas, maintenance, all that's on us.
Okay.
Did that include a pilot, those numbers? I know I'm getting techie here.
the pilot is.
Oh, I mean, your rent.
1,100
When you figure it out, I
some
gotta charge
seniors.
for rent.
That's
You're
gonna
gonna need a
be.
pilot. You're gonna need a pilot.
You're gonna need your pilot to get even close to this.
Yeah, because
That was my question.
Yeah.
I mean, if you rent them all on day one, it's a wonderful thing. That's not what happens. It took us probably almost 6 months from December. We were full in what, June or May? May. So it took us 5 months to rent, and now you're still paying the bank that full construction loan.
Yeah.
And that's another problem. I'll be honest with you. When we started our project, the interest for a construction loan was 3.5%. Midway through our project, it went to 8.5%. We paid 200,000 that we didn't anticipate. So, yeah. The bank calls you in the morning. Are you going to work? Are you alive? You're okay? Okay, good.
I said COVID was right in the middle of that.
COVID was in the middle, so we had, Eric had, problems getting materials. We couldn't get the, cans to electrify the buildings. They just weren't available. What went crazy? Copper,
Yeah.
wiring?
Appliances were hard to get, but
What
mostly
did-
electrical components.
What didn't?
Yeah,
What didn't go crazy?
Everything was somewhat challenging. I would say our electrical components were the biggest, because we had buildings up ready to be rented, but we couldn't power them up. We didn't have the electrical.
I have another question. Would you be, if you were to do this, are you targeting senior housing or just affordable housing?
No, it would be 55 years and up, which is.
Do you do any, if you did some 1-bedrooms as opposed to 2-bedrooms, would the cost per unit go proportionally up or down?
No, I think Jim brought that up, and maybe Gene did as well, which is, we're early on in the process. You're fact finding, we're fact finding. We might decide here in the next month or two that we want a much bigger portion of 1-bedrooms and less 2-bedrooms.
That's where I was thinking that seniors might only need 1 as opposed to 2 bedrooms.
It's interesting. It comes, so I built a lot of apartments and I own quite a few of them. In almost every case, people want 2-bedroom. Even if they're seniors, they want to have the 1-bedroom either as a spare room or for visitors, grandchildren, children. The problem is they just can't afford it. So 1-bedrooms tend to rent better, not because that's what they prefer, but because they don't have the other $300 for the 2-bedroom.
Right.
So we would have to make a decision early on before we start designing on how many bedrooms, how many 1-bedrooms and how many 2-bedrooms, if any, right?
Just off the just ballpark figure, would it be cheaper to build instead of a 2 or 3 level
building. Minus all the fire escapes and elevators, it'd be cheaper to build 2 1 levels for very senior living people, so they don't have stairs to climb.
So I'm gonna say generally, and it depends on the number of units you're getting in a building, et cetera, right? If you're building an 8-unit building, or 4 units per floor, then putting elevators in is not usually cost effective. When you're putting an elevator in a 30-unit building with 10 units per floor, it becomes very cost effective. Generally, you want to build your buildings taller because there's only one foundation and one roof that you're sharing with 3 floors. So your cost of construction comes down the higher you go up, generally. There's a limit, obviously. Nobody wants to walk 4 floors to their apartment. 3 floors is a bit of a stretch, although the truth is, we've built a lot of 3-story apartment buildings, not senior. 3-story apartment buildings, and the first units to go, even on walk-ups, is the 3rd floor because there's no noise above you. They like the 3rd floor, and oh, by the way, nobody can break out the 3rd floor window.
What's your percentage wise? What you say, it's for 55 and older?
That's what we're
You said,
proposing, right?
God, I'm 58. Do I look like a senior? You really want me living in that building? I'm pretty wild. I think 68, 65. I don't know, 55.
That's
young.
that's actually,
I'm 35.
that's actually the definition of senior.
I know, but to say I ain't senior, I'm not a senior. I don't know what to tell them. Cars get ripped up, they don't come in my house.
So, thanks for.
All right, we're moving.
55.
So what I can take from what you guys are saying and what I have to speak to my board about, we might be able to come up with a deal. Not the first meeting here, maybe the second or third, but you're really interested in doing something for the town of Lake Luzerne.
We are, again, just to recap, the cost of the land has to be extremely
Well,
low.
that's what I
I
want
have to come down to cost. We're really gonna have to sit down and create a budget and see if this is seriously.
Yeah, this is what I want to get, so I can,
Really.
we can talk about it, what we all would agree on it.
We're proposing, given that it's, with the cost of construction, as we were talking, you know, with what he was saying about the average cost of an apartment, it's with that average cost of an apartment, rent is not 1,100, it's, you know, closer to, you know, 14, 15 or 1,600, so it's gonna require a lot of work on our end.
All right, what I will make you do, give us 2 weeks.
Sure.
And because we have what we call an agenda meeting coming up. And I'd like to get with my board sometime between that, to have just discussion on what we all want, not just me or as a team here. So, and I have some ideas, and I think the rest of us have a lot of ideas.
We'd be
So-
very interested to hear that.
Just I'll let you know, 2 weeks from today is what we call an agenda meeting, is not too much of, I still got, 6 or 7 more items to go on, but, that would be just an agenda meeting, it's not people don't come in to talk like you, but we would have you in here, and we'd have a little more time to get our questions to you, and you think about what we want to do.
You know, I would also say, to you and the board is, we're interested, if you're interested. I can't speak for him, but me and Mike are two fight with town board, so if you want us here, we're interested, if you don't want us here.
Well, that's why I told Mike Susie, he said, oh, I don't know how the subject came up, I'm looking for somebody to build senior housing. Mike says, I'll do it for you. I said, okay, come to the meeting next Tuesday.
I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah,
I've known you for 20 years now, and I didn't know you.
Well, traditionally, I've built 6 office buildings. So usually I've built office buildings and fitted up for the Glens Falls Hospital Rehab Center, for the Census Bureau, for Delcath Catheter. And so after building all these commercial and then having the problems of having office buildings and nobody wanting to rent them, I had 18,000 square foot vacant for 6 years. And you're trying to carry that building, it's 40,000 square foot building, and you're trying to carry it with taxes at 65,000 a year, and I can, not whining, but I'm just saying, you learn pretty soon that apartments aren't so bad.
all right, so let's leave it at that, and I'll give you a call, and we'll probably have you back in 2 weeks. And we'll have answers and questions to finalize.
Scale to do in the meantime is just to do a budget and see where the construction looks like it may come in. He's great on estimating, so we'll look at, what we think the construction costs would be, and then you can kind of back into it that way. You know, okay, the building's gonna cost this. What's the infrastructure now component of that to get into the $1,100 rent range? That's really the key to the
That's what I
success of the project,
It's possible. Yeah.
okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, let's move along here. I'm sorry, this took a while, but we had to get these answers. Jane, where's Jane? Up there, you are you already sitting? Okay.
I'm Jane Openlander from the Lake Luzerne Association. I'm here to report on the Environmental Committee's work from last year, 2024, and to talk about what we have planned for 2025. We focus on two things. We focus on public education, on lake monitoring, because that's how you prevent problems with. And so the things that we've done in public education last year, we started 2 youth programs. We worked with the library and sponsored 3 lake themed story times for the kids. So that involved picking a theme. So we had loons was a theme. We had books and we read the books. Either the volunteer or the librarian read the books. Then we had a craft that went with it. And we give them a little talk, depending on the age of the kids, about, you know, give them an idea of what stewardship means, what we should do, pick up litter, things like that. And then, of course, we have a snack at the end of that. That was one project. The second project that we worked on was with the high school, our Junior Lake Scientist program, where we had a group of 6 to 8 kids who worked with us throughout the summer, and we're doing it into the school year to learn how to do water sampling. And in fact, they worked on a project themselves. They designed, well, they didn't actually design, they did the fireworks study, we call it. It was a national study sponsored by EPA, looking at the effect of perchlorate that deposits after fireworks explode. And we sampled 3 times for that, and the students, because it's a national study and they don't know what lakes have what kind of equipment, you kind of decide how you're gonna do your sample yourself. So the students did that and collected the samples, and then we're working now, they're gonna give a poster on their work at the New York State Federation of Lake Association Conference in May. And we work with them about a couple times a month during the school year on that. And finally, we had a speaker from the Adirondack Center on Loon Conservation. In terms of lake monitoring and stewardship, we continue to participate. This is the 4th year in the Citizens Statewide Lake Monitoring Program, CSLAP, where we sampled last year 8 times. Goes into a big database and we get a report in our history on the state of the lake. The 2nd year post-treatment for the milfoil that we assisted Warren County Soil and Water with the lake bottom videos. We also participated with the Warren County Soil and Water on an E. coli and chlorine study. We went out with them and collected the data from 24 points, 4 sessions of that. And we also have become a certified loon-friendly lake in the last year. And we have 2 volunteers who have trained to be loon rescuers. So things that we did with that are put up canisters for to recycle fishing tackle, because that's problematic for them. The funding from last year that you appropriated went to the startup of those student programs and the library program, some additional water testing equipment and some promotional materials. Looking at what we have planned for 2025, the same 2 areas we want to look at: public education and lake monitoring and stewardship. We'll continue with the library program for the younger children. We're going to do 5 lake themed story times this year. In fact, some of them are going to be read on the beach. And we'll continue with the high school student science project. Something new we're starting to look into is having a lake day. Perhaps in collaboration with some other organizations in town, where we are able to do some broader public education. In terms of lake monitoring, we'll continue with the CSLAP program for the 5th year, continue with Warren County taking the videos post-treatment for the milfoil, And I believe, continue with the grant for the E. coli and the chlorine. We'll attend the New York State Federation of Lake Associations Annual Conference. And we're going to work with Clarkson University to collaborate on a chemical detection system that's low cost and easy to use that will enable citizens, water treatment facilities, sewage treatment facilities to do quick, immediate detection of a variety of chemicals. We have a funding request for 2025. The amount of $5,950 to cover again the programs, some additional water testing equipment, and other things such as that. So that's what we did last year, 2024. It was about 2024 was about 260 volunteer hours and plus almost 40 boat hours. And any questions?
Thank you.
Oh, and thank you for the support that you've given us and the new cabinets in the back. So we appreciate that.
I did give the board a little briefing about the,
The cabinets before I won. We got them from the county. They were surplus.
yeah, we just set up 2 cabinets in the storage room, so they have a place to put equipment. Like you got microscopes coming, I don't know what you just put in there.
Scopes are in there.
Yeah. Anything, the work funding that we buy. Technically property of the town and up there.
You're asking this amount of money from the town,
Yes.
basically. I would have to check on some of this, but some of this we can get out of occupancy tax money.
Okay.
As long as it's bringing in tourists and stuff. Something like the high school library story time, that does, I don't think that's under there, bringing in people from New Jersey to come up for those classes.
Okay.
So I'm not sure, but I'll check all of this out and see how far we can go with, because they'll have strict rules now and they're getting stricter because everybody wants occupancy tax. All right, thank you. There's a good report.
Okay.
Nice to
Thanks
see
for your
you.
time.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, now we can open the floor to anybody asking any questions on our legislation part, what we're gonna do next. Anybody out there has anything on what resolutions we're gonna perform? Anything over there? Nothing? All right, I see none in the audience, so we'll move on to Lori can start reading off the stuff here, and you all have information on this stuff.
Proposed resolution to pay the bills of the third abstract of 2025 as presented. General fund vouchers 4502 to 4533, $40,883.51. Highway fund vouchers 4534 to 4548, $24,486.01. Lake Luzerne Water District, vouchers 4549 to 4552, $2,438.42.
I'll make that motion.
One second.
All in favor?
And we will get a copy of that so we can look that.
Yeah.
Over, okay,
Yeah, I'll get that from Colleen tomorrow.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome. Opposed, hearing none carried. I don't think I gave you guys any minutes, did I?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna have to table that. Okay.
We've been too busy collecting the tax money. in the
Yeah,
town.
I'll report on that too. Proposed resolution to accept the quote for the stamped concrete at the highway garage.
I think I'm like to table that because Ron's not here and there was.
We could print 2 of the 3 quotes, but there's another one that we couldn't get printed. So you're gonna table that till Ron's here.
That's not something, we got some questions for him, at least I do.
Yeah, he doesn't even tell us which one.
Yeah, well,
There's more quotes than that. The range.
They sound like
$5,000.
yeah, I know.
It's
that's
not like
why it
all
doesn't
5
have-
quotes that need a.
All right, so we'll table that.
Proposed bond resolution. Or truck, you don't have that, table it? Okay,
What is that?
Bonders for the truck.
I thought.
What happened with the truck? Okay, so this is table 2.
Okay, Proposed resolution to set a public hearing on proposed local law number 1 of 2025 as it pertains to alternate members of the planning and zoning boards of appeals.
Do you need,
Well,
do you want me to explain what that?
yeah,
is?
that's what I was gonna, please explain that so we all know what.
Some of our members have been getting training, and in that training, they found that the state said that the alternates were to serve when someone recused themselves for a conflict of interest. Said nothing about if someone was absent from the board and they could step in. So we talked about that, and Mary advised us to do a local law that would define what the alternates do, how many alternates we have, and what their authority is. So that's what this local law is for. It's to set the number of alternates at 1 for the zoning board of appeals, 2 for the planning board, and that they will serve if someone recuses themselves, if there's a conflict of interest, or if someone is absent, they can step in and be on the board the night that we need them.
And just to clarify, this is only setting the public hearing. It's not passing the local law right now.
Right. But that's what it's for. We looked and we didn't have anything that we could find on the books that defined it. And by state law, they were only allowed to serve if someone had a conflict of interest. So we have been having them serve if there's a member absent, we have them step in, but we need a local law to cover that.
So is that something that, because tomorrow they're going down for the training, is that something that they can see if there is already a change in law?
No, they already got, some of them already got training from Warren County last month, and it was presented there at that training. And the training that they're getting tomorrow is just on their duties, basically on the zoning and planning boards. It really has nothing to do with this at all. This is just to clarify, to make sure we have a law that covers when they can serve and when they can't serve, basically.
Where do we stand right now as far as, are we full vote on both?
No, we are not. We had a resignation on the planning board, so we have an opening there for a regular member, and we will have an opening for an alternate. I can talk about that right now since we're discussing it if you want. I already have contacted one of the alternates on the planning board, and she's willing. It's Rose Albator. She's willing to move up to the full-time member. And then it will leave an opening. We did have one more application when Pam Pettis came on board. We had Mary Ellen Allison had submitted one. She withdrew her application before she was interviewed because she wanted Pam to have the position because she had served before. So I was gonna wait after I'd spoken with you, reach out to her, see if she was still interested. See if you wanted me to post it on the website that we need an alternate, if you want to, open it back up or just offer it to Mary Ellen. That's kind of your call. So,
And we did have someone else show some interest. in
yes,
doing
Mary Ellen.
those. No, besides,
We did, okay. I don't know who that is, but, so we can put it on the website if that's what you'd like me to do. And we will give it, couple of weeks. And then bring it up at the agenda, and then maybe have them come in at the beginning of the month for interviews, depending on how many we get. Okay, I will do that then.
and where are you on the zoning board? Do you need someone there too?
No, zoning,
You're good.
excuse me, zoning board, we're all set.
So
Okay.
when do you want to?
So yeah, we need to do this.
I'll make a motion for that.
For this.
You want it at the regular meeting, Mary?
Yes, because I just didn't know about publication issues.
Yeah, it would be tight. That's, okay,
that would be it.
so
Motion to set the public hearing.
Yes.
at the
Okay.
March 4th.
Yeah, Dane made that motion, Lori.
And I'll second.
Set the public hearing.
For March 4th at 7 PM.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution authorizing Supervisor Molino to sign the confirmation and clarification of grant of permanent easement and right-of-way with Northwoods Association, Inc.
Mary, you want to explain a little of that, please?
So the first easement that was signed between the town and Northwoods was never recorded. So we had to get creative on how to record that. So what we did is we drafted another easement that both parties will sign. And then we attached the old easement as an exhibit to the new easement. So the old one is incorporated into the new one, and that's how we're gonna get it filed.
Make a motion.
Got a
I'll second.
motion?
There, you got a motion.
Got a motion, get a
Yeah,
second?
we got a second already.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution authorizing the engagement of CT mail.
Is that who you're moving with CT now?
Our suggestion is CT mail, since they wrote the map and plan that's already been submitted. You can certainly have another engineer do it. It's gonna take more time and more cost.
It's up to the board, is that all right?
Sounds great.
Makes sense.
Okay, you can call the roll.
So hold on, CT mail to review the map and plan provided by Northwoods Association, Inc. and to update the map and plan to the final map and plan.
Perfect.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to authorize Supervisor Molino to enter into and execute an agreement with GA Bove Fuels for the 2024-2025 season per Warren County pricing.
Yeah, make a motion.
Second.
Okay,
Discussion.
you didn't want to have a discussion on it, it's fine. We just got it, just so real quick. I know I got it in here. All sanction on price of propane. I don't know if Colleen, we just got it, and I don't know if she sent it to you. But I have it in here someplace. Was it $1.39, I think, which is a great price.
They just paid $2 for that.
We were at $1.99 last year, now it's $1.39. I try to be organized, and so I know it's in here.
How do we get that deal?
Follow
No, but I want.
All right.
the contract, so to speak. Is it?
No, you get an county price. Yeah,
So we're covered.
that's cheap, let me tell you.
I know, I just got a load today. $2 cents a gallon.
That's what I'm paying.
You don't pre-buy it? Why don't you pre-buy it every year? It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, just buy it for the year.
Figure out how many gallons you use a year and buy it. That's what I do every year.
All right.
I got a wood stove. So
You don't know what it was $1.39, I think.
Talking about what we're discussing, yeah.
It's so confusing, it's paperwork. Yeah.
There's a link that's in the paperwork that I gave you. Where you can go on OGS and get the pricing.
Well, you want to pay, it was $1.39, I think. Yeah, they're fine, it's. Oh, here it is, right there. The $1.30, excuse me, $1.36.25. No, almost $1.30, about 37.
Did somebody make a motion?
Yeah, we
Sure
have a
did.
first
I
and
did.
a second.
I'll second it.
I already did.
It's already done. I made the first, you made the second.
So on this, they have all this down here is, we gotta sign that we still have all these propane tanks. And we do, we haven't moved any since they put them in 15 years ago. So. We
Just
have,
waiting on your vote.
just wait, aye, okay.
Having discussions.
I'm trying to get it,
I
I'm
know.
trying to get it to everybody knows what's going on, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. On to reports.
You shouldn't have been through OG.
Go down that road.
Wait, yeah, let me get back my organized here, okay.
There's no, it's not your, in your vocabulary today.
Thank you. But you don't know what I go to get all this paperwork. You guys get it in your file and I got it
Yeah.
one day here, one day there, one day
I
there.
know how it is.
All right.
Karen, support.
No, wait a minute. We'll start with road hills. Highway is first. He's not here. Karen, please.
I've already given my report.
It's in your
Oh,
box.
right,
It's in
okay.
your-
You have my written report. I distributed that yesterday, and the only thing I needed to talk about was this local law and the opening position on the planning board. So we've taken care of all that. We can move on to the next.
Okay, Councilman,
I'm good.
Councilman.
Yeah, and I also got rid of mine, so thank you. I'm good.
Councilman Hannon,
I'm outside, nothing reporting.
Councilman Miles,
Just one announcement, our playground committee meets 6 o'clock on Thursday, if anybody wants to go.
Franks and beans.
6 p.m. this Thursday?
Yeah.
Not sure I'll be in town, but I'll let you know.
I'm done.
Okay.
That's all you have.
Yeah. Yeah, I want you to get
$5
my.
on the way out the door.
Don't forget me.
I'm gonna have a reality check when I go home. That's something's not right.
You're not even on the Lord. Oh, yes, you are. Town clerk,
You want me to go now?
yes, town clerk, let's do the Lord.
Some stuff, so. Okay, I've provided our monthly clerk report for January. Received correspondence, an email from Howard Schaefer. This is to inform you that I will step down at this time from the Lake Luzerne Planning Board. I appreciate the opportunity to have served in this capacity. Best, Howard Schaefer. You all have the Brittany Moffett letter. She is interested in having a hot dog cart at the Wayside Beach location, operating on weekends, spring through fall months, and would also like to be considered for the music and the park events. If she were to be approved for the Wayside Beach for the season, that's a $350 vendor permit for the year. And so that would cover her on town property if she were to go into
Vendor.
the park for the events. So you have that, and she actually called the other day, looking to find out, cause she's trying to put all her stuff together, cause she's, in the process of looking into buying a cart and getting that set up, her LLC, her insurances, Department of Health, and so she kind of was asking if you all might know what you want to do there.
Is she just getting into the business?
I
So
think
she's
so.
not, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Have we heard from?
Run, huh?
Yeah, well, that was my
and they,
question. Mhm.
actually, they weren't at that site very much. No, a
Last
few
year.
times, but that was it.
At the beach.
Well,
Yeah.
this one is only for weekends though, right?
This is weekends, yeah.
I think we could think about asking if they want to be there all week. Let's.
Well, I think she has a full-time job.
Well, that's not what I'm saying, because we've had people all week for years.
Not the last couple of
No.
years, but I see what you're saying. Do we want to have some wiggle room? Somebody
Do we
else-
want to this early into it? Do we want to close off choices for vendors this early into the year? I mean, we just hit February. I understand she has a timeline she's running on, but that's her business's problem. I mean, I don't know.
And it just,
It's only gonna be weekends. I mean, we would still have them
for the
week
week,
if
during the
somebody
week,
else
yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
go into it. It's been
And just
very
so you
good
know, we
to come
get
down.
very few requests for any of that. I mean,
Right.
Madeline was there for years and nobody else ever, it's
To be
really.
fair, that's true. It's,
You know what I'm saying? But
What if somebody comes to us 3 weeks from now, we've already approved the weekends, and they want to do it full
do
time?
the full time. That's the,
You take the.
maybe we
grade.
should consider a window of taking
Yeah.
ideas for
Maybe
Wayside
like,
Beach.
maybe like tell that person,
Great, you're here. But
our
we'll-
last meeting in March, we'll make a decision or something.
Yes, and we'll get all the people in and we'll decide who, and then just tell her if we in fact have anybody. And just tell her the
Okay.
fact, we really don't have anybody, but
so
that's what we have to
technically
be
you
fair.
want to wait and see if you have any other interest.
I'd tell her ideally, we'd like a week long, someone to do it more than weekends, but we like to keep the window open, but yeah, we'd
But
like
we'll
to,
make a decision at our second March meeting.
yeah.
At the agenda meeting.
Yeah.
I agree.
Gives them like
You know what I mean?
Good
Just-
idea. Yeah.
I think that's more than.
I mean, it's smart to try to get it early, but you never know, somebody might want to do it.
Yeah, you might, yeah, you don't want to.
Because it is pretty busy. It helps the people that are there.
Is that locking us, like if she, say we approve her
Mm.
for weekends, if someone does come in and they want to do it, 7 days a week,
I don't
is
think,
that not allowed?
well, I don't think there's room there.
One year for what?
They could maybe go,
They'd have
No,
5 days a
no,
week, she'd have it for the weekends.
No, why can't we have both of them? I mean, if one's doing hot dogs and another one's doing bananas.
Mm,
Ice cream.
ice cream.
yeah. I don't know.
So-
Honestly, I don't think there's enough room for two.
There's not enough room for two.
It's right there to the right when you pull in that parking
Mhm.
lot.
Mhm.
And that's the only place they can do it.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
town property, but where else would you want them to be?
We got electric there and all for that too.
Probably
Yeah.
got room over on the other side of the building, but nobody'd want to be over there.
Where,
Mm,
Or by the canoes.
which one be, behind the toilets?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody'd want to do it.
Listen, I know it's a hot dog joint, but I know all the flavor comes from not washing everything, but.
so you want me to reach out to her and tell
I'm-
her,
Well, I'm thinking, if we have someone that's interested and wants to do it for the weekends, we should allow that. And if somebody else wants to come in and from Monday through Friday, I mean,
It would be hard for them to do it Monday through Friday. If she's sitting on the weekends, then you got 5 days you could fill. Absolutely. Yeah, take it. Have it for 5 days. Do what they gotta do. That's
Go
fine.
ahead with this.
yeah, I would say go ahead with that. I don't think why there was any reason
do
to.
you want to do a resolution?
She was also interested in the food trucks, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, she is also interested in being a part of
But
the
let's- but
music.
should we have like a window? Should we not have a window for applications for vending?
Anyone else interested?
We never have had. since
For
I've
planning
been
for the
here
future? I don't know. I'm just trying to be fair to everybody in the future. So
No,
first come, first served, locks it up.
If
That
nobody-
may not be the
if
best deal.
nobody Comes until June and then somebody wants to come the second week of June, what, we're gonna say no because it's too late? That's.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't wanna, I sometimes just don't take the first one that comes along. Especially she's never done it before, so. If he's willing to do
But
it, it's
for
fine, it's fine.
But it's
Do
for
weekends.
weekends.
I
just
know that,
weekends.
I know. Ideally, the town would like, if someone in there, one person do it like Madeline, ideally. That's why, as Supervisor Molino said, that's the only reason I'm saying that. So ideally, I'd like to, ideally, that's what we want. We should aim for that. If we can't, then that's what we get.
Annie, make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with this for weekends for Brittany.
I'll second.
all in favor?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Does this motion include the food truck thing? Or is it just for the weekends?
This
Being
is,
the food trucks? No.
That's what I want to just make sure.
that's a whole separate thing,
Okay.
and that would go through the chamber.
I just wanted to.
Yes.
That's done. I think you got
All
5
I was saying
already.
was her permit that she buys, because it's for a year to operate on town property, would cover her to go into the park for those events if she was
Chosen
able to
some-
work that out with the chamber,
With the chamber.
right? Yeah, opposed? Hearing none carried. Okay, okay, our tax collection, I just wanted to give a little update on that. We've collected, to date, $55,000 more in online payments than we did last year. So it's really, people are really using it a lot this year, so I just wanted to let you know that the town has been made whole, and we are now going to be filtering money over to Warren County Treasurer starting tomorrow. An update on our IT and computers.
Wait, hold on a second. You know what the word hold, what she's talking about, right?
Yes.
All the money that's coming.
Budget is.
Is there.
Those are paid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Update on the IT and computers. Mr. Colvin's been working to get some of the issues resolved, which is going well. We are now in the process of changing all of our emails to the new .gov, because that's a requirement now.
Mhm.
And my machine is done, Cindy's is done. And I'm not sure who he's working on next. Oh, Colleen is done. So he's going right down the line and getting everyone. So, I'll let everyone know as they're up and running what everybody's new email address is. But I will email everyone tomorrow with the ones that already are finished. And then. Sawazo, Doty and Associates. I just wanted to revisit that. They were in and gave you guys that presentation, but you never made a resolution whether you were gonna add them to our list of engineers or not, and I don't know if you want to or need to. I just wanted to revisit that.
We'd like to make a motion to do that.
Okay.
I'll second.
Add them to our list.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Mhm.
Can you send it back to me when you're done? Because
Okay, Metler Toledo. The agreement is for services to the scales at the transfer station. That was given to you guys a while back. I think Cindy had given it to everyone. But as of right now, we don't have a maintenance agreement with them because this was not passed. So it looks like the plan service is $779. And then an $11.06 for a total of $790.33. I didn't really have time to look this over.
Did you look up what they charged us last year?
I think it's pretty comparable.
Okay.
Yeah, and that includes like 30% discounts for breaks and fixes, business support, project management. I'm not sure what that is all about, but yeah, if you call them to come and we don't have an agreement, it's a lot of money. So,
That annual?
well, I'm trying to see. Service acknowledge agreement.
I think.
Oh, there was a while there. They were very responsive.
Yeah, the
It's
agreement
annual.
starts on March 1st. If you do it before the 28th of this month.
It was the same company we've used in the past.
It is, yeah.
Renew it.
That's in the area for us.
My God, why would we renew it?
Because
So who wants to make a motion?
I make a motion, renew it.
Okay,
The thing inspected,
it's for service, yeah.
service inspection, yep.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. And that's all I have. My office. Yep.
yeah, just quickly on the opening on the planning board due to the resignation. I did talk to Rosalba Torre and she's willing to serve. Do we need to do a resolution to appoint her as a full-time member and take her off as an alternate? I should have done that before, but
Do you want to do that?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none carried.
so I'll show you to do
I'll
this.
spend it all in one place.
We can do the oath of office that night.
I think so. Last time he was not a reach.
I don't hear what you say. What do you say?
Rocky didn't do an application for the planning board or a letter for the planning board.
Not that I
Not that I
have
know.
seen.
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, so I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done now,
Okay,
thank you.
So on to next.
There you go.
The lawsuit with the ZBA. They had perfected their appeal and we submitted our reply brief, so that is fully briefed and in front of the third department. We will go argue that in May of 2025. Keep you updated.
So that's a court date.
Did you see the other one that just came in yesterday? You know,
It looked like a personal injury,
Yeah.
so your insurance company should cover it.
That's from November. We never got a report from the people who got hurt though. I don't know if there's a real difference, but anybody could say they fell in November. We don't know.
It's been forwarded to the insurance company.
All right.
And then I just need an executive session to talk about litigation.
Okay. We'll do it right. I only have two things. One thing just happened at 4 o'clock this afternoon or 3 o'clock this afternoon. Lake George Chamber of Commerce asked if they can have their car races on our lake. They don't have enough ice. They don't want to cancel it. We have plenty of ice
This year?
this year, so they want to have this Saturday. So we did the snowmobile club and it worked out well. You guys are all right with it?
That's
We'll
fine,
let them, have their car race.
The little town like 4 feet.
Yeah, they're not. big with it.
Any octaves?
So what's that?
Octaves?
No, they're not asking for, the only thing they asked for is to get porta potties for them. So that's easy. That's not a lot of money. We can take that out.
That's
They do everything.
They do everything.
the eighth,
Well, whatever Saturday is,
the eighth.
because they don't have enough ice. We have 25 inches just because we were out there yesterday looking at.
How much is our ice worth to
Cancel it's a big thing for them.
Make a motion.
Do we know what
Second.
time?
I'm gonna say 9 o'clock because it's usually that sometime in that area.
All in favor?
Aye.
them?
Opposed? Hearing none carried, and the town will provide porta potties.
Yeah, we'll get the hot porta potties like we did for the snowmobile race.
Gene. Which one will do it every year?
Well, that's a,
They'll let them food and.
we'll have to do it year by year.
I don't know that they're dropping those songs 3 days in advance. We're one this year too.
So I'm not gonna.
You gotta negotiate a little bit.
Stop it. Well, you just squeeze them for it. A glass of orange juice? Oh my God.
All right, and the last.
Excuse me,
Now, a lot of people, no,
are they having any vendors?
no,
They're not having any food vendors or?
say anything about food vendors. If they do, I love them. Since
You need to contact them tomorrow, please, because it's already Wednesday tomorrow.
okay, Buzz. $25, it drives me crazy. I give you $25.
No,
No, I know.
I need documents.
I forgot something when you're done.
You're too late, forgotten stuff. Go ahead.
Gina and I had the pleasure to attend Elise Stefanik's farewell tour. We went over Saturday, right?
Mhm.
And I got a chance to thank her for the grant she got us. Very nice ceremony.
And I got a good picture with her, so. She was wonderful. She's a strong woman. She's done a lot for this country, or for our state anyway. But, all of a sudden she got so emotional and she really broke
Yeah.
down in tears. And she apologized to, and there had to be a couple of people there.
Could have heard a pin drop place.
Yeah, she just gets emotional about leaving that job for the other job. And she started off, and we were right in the front row. And all of a sudden she said, I'm glad all you people like me. I can cry in front of you. And I said, oh my, she almost had me cry. But she's good. She's a good lady. She'll be good at the United Nations. All
You
right,
guys had your turn.
what's that? Wait a minute,
Yeah.
wait a minute,
Oh
wait a minute.
my gosh.
He interrupted me.
We all right over here?
All right, I really.
Back to your soft ice cream.
I'm just telling you guys this, it was a long day today, you can hear slowly. We had a bunch of complaints, the 2 state-owned houses that are in town Lake Luzerne. No.
Wait, what?
I'll drop it.
It is floor open to the public right now. I feel like nothing.
I didn't get that far. All right, forget about it. I'm done. You got something else?
I already did it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you two can't.
Public. The floor is open.
All right, but you guys not have anything else? What happens up like public?
Comments from the public.
Just say thank you very much for moving our project forward, we appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay,
Anybody on Zoom, Chase?
Only
Yes, you
Hands up.
I make a motion we adjourn.
we're gonna do executive session.
Executive session.
You got to put the executive session on the record.
Yes, but I need you to stay.
So I can leave.
So a motion to move to executive session to make possible litigation.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
All right, before we go into that, can I say one more thing? Guys, it's just screwing me up tonight. I got notification, Lower Adirondack Rental Development Initiative, LARD, is being proposed, and that's to help people.
Lard. LARD is
Well,
their
that's what it
acronym.
is.
Lard, they picked lard for a name, okay.
But, anyway, that's to help get money to people in the town of Lake Luzerne, Queensbury, and the city of Glens Falls. There's a 1 million.
Also, still $50,000 grant.
There's over $1 million is supply, and they haven't figured out how to divvy it up. But we're one of the towns that we're gonna get,
Great, that's good.
here it is right here. It's on the second page. It's 1,090,000.
It's the rehab apartment.
Yeah, it's the rehab apartment, so they don't know how they're gonna give it to each town, by maybe by how many you have and. So,
Any way we can move that into our senior housing?
no, this is the rehab, like some of the hotels, somebody that has even, or short-term rentals that wanna, the owner wants to fix them up. But they haven't done all the applications yet or anything, so when I get the, information, we'll have to notify them.
If the program, the first round has yet to be done this year. And they haven't even figured out how they're gonna divvy up the money yet, and they haven't figured out the application, they haven't figured out the.
Nothing.
They don't know anything, we don't know anything.
The contingencies are important. If you get one of these grants, then you have to guarantee that you're gonna keep your rent below a
I
certain.
guess they did it.
They haven't figured out that number yet.
Had the same program. I mean, I was on that board for 13 years. So I know a little.
Well, it's 1,090,000 divided by, I don't know how they're gonna say
They
they're
did make a
going to
motion
get so
to
much.
adjourn.
I guess they're gonna have to look at.
They made a
how many
motion
people
to
apply
adjourn
for it.
with the-
That's when the
with the-
odds